Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into the labyrinth of emotions, power plays, and personal struggles unraveling in Port Charles. Buckle up because the week ahead promises a roller coaster of surprises, confrontations, and heartfelt moments that you won't want to miss. Carly Spencer's fiery struggles. Carly Spencer is a woman who refuses to be sidelined, but her frustrations with Drew Quartermaine have reached a boiling point. Drew's recent decisions have left Carly feeling powerless, a position she despises. In a heated exchange, Carly confronts Drew, her voice trembling with both anger and determination. "You didn't give me a choice, Drew," she exclaims, pacing back and forth in her living room. "Do you even understand what that means?" Drew tries to calm her, his tone firm yet empathetic. "Carly, I made a decision that I thought was best for everyone involved." But Carly isn't convinced, and her resolve hardens as she begins planning a bold move to reclaim control. Her confidants, Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin, attempt to intervene. Jason, ever the voice of reason, warns Carly that her impulsiveness might only exacerbate the situation. "You need to think this through," he advises, his expression serious. Meanwhile, the Corinthos family saga deepens. Willow Corinthos finds herself in a tug-of-war with Tracy Quartermaine over the children's custody. Tracy, a formidable matriarch, stands her ground, refusing to allow the children to leave the Quartermaine mansion. As tensions escalate, Sonny Corinthos considers stepping in to mediate, but his complicated relationship with the Quartermaines makes his involvement fraught with potential disaster. Jason, sensing the volatility, steps up and offers to act as a bridge, setting the stage for a potential alliance or another explosive confrontation. Drew's dreams and Alexis's warnings. On the other side of Port Charles, Drew Quartermaine faces challenges on a personal front as well. His blossoming relationship with Willow is met with skepticism from Alexis Davis, who voices her concerns during an intense conversation. "Drew, you're moving too fast," Alexis warns, her tone sharp but tinged with concern. "Scout needs stability, and you can't just replace Sam overnight." Drew counters with a quiet conviction, describing Willow as a source of warmth and stability for both him and Scout. "Willow isn't replacing anyone," he insists. "She's bringing something special into Scout's life." Despite Drew's optimism, Alexis remains wary, fearing that the emotional complexities of this new dynamic could create turbulence for young Scout. The clash between Drew's hopeful vision and Alexis's protective instincts paints a poignant picture of the delicate balance between moving forward and honoring the past. Trina and Kai's game day drama. The energy shifts to the PCU Bowl game, where Trina Robinson and Giovanni Gio Palmieri cheer from the sidelines. The atmosphere is electric, with the crowd roaring as the players sprint across the field. Trina, initially absorbed in the game, is jolted by a sudden turn of events. Kai Taylor, a star player, takes a hard hit and collapses on the field. "Kai!" Trina gasps, her hands flying to her mouth as medics rush to the scene. The tension is palpable as the minutes stretch into what feels like hours. Trina's concern deepens as Kai remains motionless, but later in the week, his resilience shines through. Kai, determined to make the most of the situation, impresses Trina with his positivity and determination. This turn of events not only hints at a blossoming romance but also showcases Kai's character, leaving Trina and viewers alike rooting for his recovery and success. Emma Drake's independence sparks concern. Meanwhile, Emma Drake is making waves with her fiercely independent streak. Her conversation with Felicia Scorpio is a masterclass in youthful defiance. "I make my own choices, Felicia," Emma declares, her eyes blazing with determination. "And that's never going to change." Felicia, while proud of Emma's confidence, worries about the potential consequences of her headstrong attitude, particularly for Anna Devane. Emma's chance encounter with Trina Robinson adds another layer to her storyline. The two young women exchange cautious yet curious glances, hinting at the possibility of a dynamic friendship or rivalry. Their first impressions set the stage for future developments, leaving viewers eager to see how their paths will intertwine. The Cyrus Renault threat. Finally, we arrive at the menacing shadow of Cyrus Renault. Jocelyn Jacks is relentless in her mission to see him brought to justice. During a tense meeting with Anna Devane, Jocelyn implores her to take action. "Anna, you have to get a warrant. We can't let Cyrus get away with this," Jocelyn urges, her voice filled with urgency. Anna, however, remains cautious. "We need solid evidence, Jocelyn. I can't make a move without it." Despite her hesitation, Anna prepares for a confrontation with Cyrus, determined to gather the evidence needed to secure his arrest. Meanwhile, Lucky Spencer delivers a stern warning to Elizabeth Baldwin, urging her to keep her distance from Cyrus. "Don't go near him, Elizabeth," Lucky insists. "He's dangerous." The backdrop of digitalis overdoses looms large, with Lucky, Elizabeth, and Lucas Jones piecing together clues that point to Cyrus's involvement. The stakes are higher than ever, with the lives of Port Charles residents hanging in the balance. Next, we'll explore the intricate web of relationships and conflicts that unfolded during the Quartermain family's holiday season. We begin at the gatehouse, where Willow was comforting her young son, Wiley. She held him close, her voice soft yet steady as she explained why his father couldn't be with them at home. Wiley's big, curious eyes were full of concern, and he asked her, "When will Daddy be back? Can we see him soon?" Willow took a deep breath, carefully choosing her words. "Your dad's been hurt," she explained, "and he's in a special room at the hospital. We can't visit him just yet, but we can make cards for him. Maybe when we're at Grandma Nina's, we can start on them together." Wiley thought for a moment, then nodded, his small hands gripping hers. She added, "No matter what, your daddy and I love you so much. We're always here for you." Her reassurance wasn't just for him, it was for herself too. Willow carried a heavy burden, juggling her responsibilities as a mother while dealing with the uncertainty of her husband's recovery. Despite her own inner turmoil, she kept her focus on Wiley, determined to create a sense of stability in an otherwise unpredictable world. Outside the gatehouse, Sasha worked tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the household running smoothly. She sent lunch upstairs for the nanny and the children, only to learn they were already with Willow. The unexpected news was a small hiccup in her carefully orchestrated day, but it also illustrated the constant shuffle of responsibilities in the Quartermain household. Sasha, while not as central to the larger family disputes, was the unsung hero of the day, ensuring the children were cared for, the meals were served, and the threads of normalcy were maintained amidst the chaos. Her role was less dramatic, yet no less vital. She embodied a quiet strength, holding things together in ways that often went unnoticed. Inside the main house, however, the tension was anything but quiet. Tracy Quartermain, known for her unwavering resolve and sharp tongue, was in no mood to entertain opposition. Martin, who had come as Willow's attorney, argued passionately for Willow's right to take her children home. "The grandparents have already reached an agreement," he asserted, his voice firm. "Willow is their mother. That's not up for debate." Tracy, seated regally in the family's grand living room, shot back, "Those children are Quartermains, and this is where they belong." Her voice was laced with authority, her posture unyielding. Martin, unfazed, replied, "If we have to take this to court, we will. But I'd rather not involve the police." His words were a thinly veiled warning, yet Tracy remained steadfast. "You'll find I don't scare easily, Mr. Gray," she retorted, her piercing gaze never leaving his. In the midst of this heated exchange, Lulu appeared, caught between conflicting loyalties. Martin turned to her, hoping she might help mediate. "Lulu," he began, "as a mother who's been separated from her own child, surely you understand how important this is." His remark was pointed, a deliberate attempt to appeal to her empathy. Lulu stiffened at the comment, knowing it was meant to sway her, but also feeling the sting of a painful truth. "That's a low blow," she muttered, her voice low but firm. Tracy, sensing Lulu's discomfort, stepped in. "Those children are staying here, Martin. You can leave now." The situation grew more volatile by the moment, with emotions running high and no clear resolution in sight. Rewinding the day's events, Lulu's arrival at the mansion had already set a dramatic tone. She had come seeking Tracy's help in her quest to find her daughter, Charlotte. Tracy, always direct, greeted Lulu with a blend of holiday cheer and sharp sarcasm. "Merry Christmas," she said dryly, "though I can't help but recall you weren't here last year, you were too busy jetting around the world." Lulu, unfazed, launched into her story. She recounted her time in Prague, her belief that Charlotte could be found, and her need for Tracy's assistance. "What do you need from me?" Tracy asked bluntly. Lulu didn't hesitate. "I need money to continue the search." Tracy raised an eyebrow, her expression a mix of skepticism and amusement. "Money? I'm happy to help, but not until you have something solid. How exactly do you plan to find Charlotte and Valentine?" Lulu explained her intention to return to Prague and work with local authorities, but Tracy dismissed the idea. "Dante's probably already done that," she said, her voice dripping with irony. "Why don't you go door to door while you're at it?" Lulu, stung but not defeated, admitted she didn't have a concrete plan yet. "I'll figure it out," she insisted. Tracy, however, wasn't convinced. "Don't waste my time or money," she warned. "Be strategic. Less emotional." Lulu couldn't help but smile faintly. "You're starting to sound like my mom and Dante." The moment was interrupted by Martin's arrival, which only added fuel to the fire. Martin's presence was initially unwelcome, with Tracy ordering him to leave. Lulu, however, wanted to speak with her uncle. She brought up his previous ties to Valentine, a sore subject that made Tracy bristle. Martin, for his part, maintained he hadn't spoken to Valentine since he went on the run. "I told your mother as much," he said, his tone calm but firm. Lulu didn't seem convinced. The conversation was tense, each remark loaded with unresolved issues and simmering distrust. Tracy finally had enough. "You can go now," she told Martin. But Martin wasn't done. He explained his role as Willow's attorney and the ongoing custody dispute, reigniting the earlier argument. Tracy and Martin's battle of wills continued, each determined to have the final say. As the day wore on, the scene shifted from heartfelt moments in the gatehouse to the fiery confrontations in the main house. Each character's perspective added layers to the unfolding drama. Willow's quiet strength, Sasha's steady presence, Tracy's unyielding resolve, Martin's strategic maneuvering, and Lulu's conflicted emotions all contributed to a narrative as rich and complex as the Quartermain legacy itself. In the end, the holiday gathering became less about festive cheer and more about the tangled relationships, lingering grievances, and enduring hopes that define this iconic family. Next, we will delve into the unfolding drama surrounding some of Port Charles's most entangled relationships. The day began at the hospital, where Lucky encountered Trina, a representative of the Port Charles Redemption Mission. She mentioned that Cyrus had become a devoted member of their organization. Curious, Lucky pressed her for details about Cyrus's activities outside the mission's walls. Trina mentioned his efforts at Rice Plaza, collecting donations and assisting those in need. Before leaving, she noted that Cyrus had a knack for bringing in substantial sums of money. As she departed, Jocelyn arrived, catching the tail end of the conversation. She mentioned seeing Cyrus at Rice Plaza on Christmas, interacting with the public in a way that seemed far from the Cyrus she remembered. Lucky, still unsettled, asked Joss why she was so interested in Cyrus. Joss countered by asking why he was looking into him. Their mutual curiosity led them to share insights. Lucky admitted his concerns stemmed from Cyrus's past obsession with Lulu, and Joss added what she had heard from Felicia about the day Dex was stabbed. According to Joss, Felicia noted that Cyrus had been acting suspiciously, and his cryptic behavior at the plaza the day before the stabbing only heightened her unease. While their motives differed, both Lucky and Joss had reason to believe that Cyrus's activities warranted further scrutiny. Over at Nina's apartment, The air was thick with tension as Drew arrived, demanding to talk to her. When she initially slammed the door in his face, he knocked again, his determination unwavering. "Willow's picking up her kids at the gatehouse," Drew insisted, "and I need to be here for her." Reluctantly, Nina let him inside, her expression hard and unforgiving. Her words were sharp and unrelenting as she accused Drew of destroying her life. "You've changed Willow," Nina spat, her voice trembling with anger. "You've pulled her away from the people who truly care about her. You've twisted her into someone who would keep Michael's own family from seeing him." Drew's jaw tightened, but he didn't back down. "Sonny doesn't get to dictate Willow's choices," he said firmly. Nina's sarcasm was cutting. "No, apparently you've taken over that role. So, Drew, what's next? What's the next thing you'll control?" The room felt heavy with unspoken accusations and unresolved history. While Drew believed he was acting in Willow's best interests, Nina saw only a man who, in her eyes, had taken far more than he had any right to claim. The confrontation was in sharp contrast to what had unfolded earlier when Sasha and Willow came face to face. Sasha, arriving with the children's nanny, sent the kids into the house for cookies before confronting Willow directly. "I'm doing you a favor by keeping this visit under wraps," Sasha began, "but you need to leave." Willow's response was as defiant as it was determined. "I'm not going anywhere without my children." The air between them crackled with tension as Willow explained that Sasha didn't understand the full situation. She had been granted access to her children only by agreeing to let Sonny and Carly visit Michael, whose medical decisions she controlled. Sasha's face darkened with disbelief. "You're using Michael as leverage? That's not just wrong, it's cruel. You should be doing what's best for him, not treating him like a bargaining chip." Willow shot back, "You'd understand if you were," Sasha cut her off. "If I were what? A mother?" Sasha's voice dripped with disdain as she continued, "What's this really about, Willow? Are you just trying to push me out so you can circle back to Michael now that things with my cousin have fallen apart?" Willow bristled. "Since you've been in this town, all you've done is lie and manipulate. You started by scamming my mother, remember?" Sasha fired back, "You didn't even want a relationship with Nina until it suited you." As the argument reached a boiling point, Sasha made one last remark before turning away, "You're not welcome here anymore, Willow. Look around, this isn't your home." Willow, holding her children's suitcases, simply replied, "There's nothing here I want," and walked out, her determination unshaken despite the heated exchange. Each of these moments painted a vivid picture of the strained, complex relationships at play. At the hospital, Lucky and Joss unraveled threads of Cyrus's past and present activities, their suspicions deepening with every new piece of information. In Nina's apartment, Drew's and Nina's confrontation revealed the deep divide in their perceptions of Willow's choices and the larger family dynamics. Meanwhile, Sasha and Willow's clash highlighted the raw emotions and unresolved grievances simmering beneath their seemingly composed exteriors. By reversing the order of events and delving into each interaction in greater detail, we uncover not only the characters' motivations but also the intricate, tangled web that defines life in Port Charles.